May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex Forecast. We're looking at the US Dollar Index. And before I begin, thank you for your patience. I have been gone 2 weeks. Uh, I had a rules violation with TradingView, and I understand where they're coming from, I guess, and it's all done with. Uh, rules are rules, and that's it. I missed that little one, but it has to do with self promotion, and I got to make sure that I dot my I's and cross my T's. That's all there is to it. I love me some trading view, so let us move on. And I want you to know I missed communicating with my viewers, so I'm glad to be back as well. Anyway, the US dollar index is in an interesting situation right now. Now, if I may just tell you, that was wrong. What did that? There you go. Okay. So what we got here is this is the monthly time frame, and we are still making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. And we've been here for about a year, over a year now, and I keep saying that we're at the support line of this ascending channel, and this looks like we're a rounded bottom, and we're heading higher from here. All right. Now, if we lock in a little bit, you see this key level right here. Why is it a key level? Because it's been used as support throughout here. We broke through, and now we see that it acting as resistance, and we got above it here, right? On that, what is that? The June candle. All right. On the June candle, we closed above it. We closed above, breaking uh, these high the what do you call them, the range highs, right? We broke these range highs. We see this is the protected low here after it breaks and closes above these range highs here. So this becomes our protected low, and you see it remains protected up until this point. Now, uh, on a month-to-month basis, we have a bearish candle, but right now it's indecisive. Uh, right now it looks like a doji, right? A doji candle, indecisive candle, neither uh, bullish or bearish. But the month before, we saw that we did not break the high of the previous month, the month of June. We didn't break that high, and we did not break the low. This is an inside bar, and this means consolidation. It means contraction. After the market expanded, we contracted here. All right. And you start to look for, when you have inside bars, you start to look for a breakout, up or down, a higher or lower. That's when you're looking for a breakout of that high or that low. All right. The market opened the new month of August here with a bearish gap, down, right? And the market pulled up, then went down, and then pulled back towards the middle. This is very indecisive. We're still waiting some outcomes, but I want you to see that from this high to this low, there is a bullish fair value gap that we are right in the middle of. And this is the support line of this ascending channel. So we have two bullish confluences here. Now, the market could pull down further, but as long as it protects takes this low and keeps this low protected, this is the most recent protected low here. So as long as the market pulls back and we don't go below this, we're still bullish. The market could still come down here lower, but I do think that eventually the market will turn back around. I do. If we go to the weekly, what you can see is something that don't need to be there. Boom. All right. All right, you see the actually, let me pan out a little bit. You can see how we see the higher high, higher low, higher high. Once the market broke these highs here and closed above it on a weekly and a monthly basis, but on a weekly basis, that being that we're on that time frame, you can. I told you when this happened that the bulls are in control once we break that structure, right? And I was looking for a pullback. What do we have here? This is a bullish fair value gap. The market pulled into that bullish fair value gap. Didn't get quite the lift from it. We did close above uh, this previous weekly high here. We did close above it, but then the market came crashing down. We had bad numbers, economic numbers coming in, and the market just went, NFP and all went down. And then we had last week, we had actually this was last week, NFP. I'm sorry, and we have CPI this week. I should mention that that we have CPI and PPI this week. All right, Consumer Price Index and the Producers Price Index. And that's going to be uh, really important to the Fed in regards to inflation rates and whether it's hot or not, and whether they are going to affect their judgment, affect their impact their decision on raising the rate or cutting the rate or leaving it as it is. So uh, you see the market has pulled back to the support line of this ascending channel, and we close below the bullish fair value gap here. So we are in a pullback. Again, the market could pull back even further than that. Like I said, there is uh, an imbalance down here that the market could seek right below this low. This low right here, I'm going to bring it right up. The market could seek that and still be bullish, even though it breaks the trend line. It could still be bullish because this low and this low remain protected, and we could see the market move up higher from here. So I'm going to keep my eye. I'm going to keep my eye on those levels. Look at this. This low and this low make relative equal lows here. This low has not swept that low. So I'm definitely going to watch that because that is a big draw on liquidity. Okay. So that's something to watch. All right. We also have a bearish fair value gap that will act as a headwind if the market is to move bullishly. It would have to go through this imbalance here as well. So that's going to take some work. It's not going to be just a rocket ship up. All right, let's go to the daily. And here is where things become crystal clear. Again, we have the break of structure, bullish break of structure. That's the last break of structure that we had. So the market is bullish, even though we had this pullback. That's a healthy thing, because you want to see the market push higher, pull back, push higher, pull back, and then push higher. Now, whether it pushes higher from here or here is fine with me, because I do believe the market is going to push up higher to the top of this ascending channel here. I do. So I am looking for a higher low to form. If it forms here, that would make sense to me. If it forms here, it would make sense to me. You understand? Now, I want to use the Fibonacci retracement tool from the protected low, sorry, come on, man. All right, from the protected low here to this high so that we can measure the pullback. And we do that, if we do that, come on, man. If we do that, we can see the optimal trade entry levels. And what are the optimal trade entry levels? That's the levels that the market will likely find support for more gains, for a bounce higher. Okay. Now, um, if we look at the ascending line, the ascending channel support line, right? You can see that it kind of crosses right around 618 and 705. All right. You can see the market found once it broke higher here, it pulled back, and then from the 618 line, we can see it launched up top here to as a bullish break of market structure. We can see that the market is now pulling back. If it pulls back below the 50, this is where I'll be looking for the market to turn around and give me a buy model. I'll be looking here once it takes out that low here. I'll be looking here when it takes out these lows here, because below each is an imbalance that the market loves to correct. So that it just makes sense to me. All right. Again, I'm going to point out, let me get rid of this. I'm going to point out that there, you see this imbalance here? That's a lot to go through for the market. If the market goes up first, I'm looking at the market to come down after that and then make that move up. But if the market opens and it comes down further to sweep liquidity and take some liquidity and use it as fuel, if you will, to move up higher, that would make sense as well. So what I'm looking for is the actions of the market. I want to see if it comes up to sweep these highs once it opens here at the bottom, at the not the bottom, but the at the support line of this ascending channel. This is a great place to look for a buy model to set up. And if the market continues down from here, and there's a good reason to think so, because it needs to. I'm going to use the Fibonacci retracement tool again. It needs to pull back into uh, these discount prices, discount premium. The red is premium. The green is discount. You want to take your longs from discount. You want to take your shorts from premium. This pullback is healthy. Pull back from premium into discount. And then I'll be looking for a buy model to set up so that I can make moves in the other forex pairs that have the US dollar in it. I'm talking about the Euro USD, the Pound USD, the Aussie Dollar USD, the New Zealand Dollar USD, and then the US Dollar CAD, the US Dollar Swiss, and the US Dollar JPY. If this week I have an expectation that we may see some weakness in the US dollar. But I think it's temporary. It's only for the near term before we see the market set up for another move higher. It could happen below these relative equal lows at, what is this? This is at 99.38. It could happen at this low here at 98.75, or which would be great because that's 618, 705, 786 fib levels. It could happen down here at or below 97.94. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at this week. All right, I hope you understand. I hope it's simple enough. The next video will be my Euro USD analysis for this week ahead, and I'm glad to be back. And I'll see you in the next video. Follow me to the Euro USD. All right, may profits be upon you.